Hey everyone, so today's tutorial is going to be how to book fold. Now I've only actually shared one post or maybe two on Kaboodlemum about book folding, but it's something that I've not long learned how to do, and I wasn't entirely sure how to do it initially, so I researched and figured out how to do it. So instead of buying patterns online, I actually created my own. So my personal experience and how I do it is just how I do it. But I'm fairly confident when I say that it's similar wherever you go. The same principle applies. You have a pattern and how you follow it is the way that I'm going to show you, which is the method that I personally developed without watching tutorial videos. I just sort of looked at patterns and how they were and discovered a way of doing it myself. So the patterns that I've done myself and how things look when they're finished is like this. Now that is a really large heart and I designed that myself. How cool is that? This is amazing. I love it. So that's my heart. That's a heart that I've created. And this is one that's called the bird cage. And I actually did see a tutorial video for this online. And this is really super duper simple. And there's no pattern required for this one. I haven't decorated this yet because I'm not sure how to go about doing that just yet. So I've made the shape, but I haven't done anything else with it. You're not limited really in terms of what you can do. This is one of my favourites that I've created, and that's a vase. And it's got flowers on the top, which I made with felt. And then these ones are our names. It's a bit difficult to see, but there's that one which I created for myself, and then there's this one which I created for Kaboodledad with his name. So they are really effective as far as I'm concerned. I think they're amazing. And when I discovered it on Pinterest back at the beginning of the year, I had to have a go, and that's why I developed my own technique, which is something that I do a lot of the time. So today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to do the letters, and that's more so because it's really simple and quite easy. And what you'll need if you want to do book folding is a pattern, and there are some on my Etsy. The heart and the vase is on my Etsy shop, which I'll link you to if those are something that you wanted to do. But you will need a book. If you're planning on doing a standing up one, which is what I'm going to be doing in the tutorial, it will go in your favour to have a hardback book, because it helps it stand. If you were going to do something like the bird cage, you'd be better off using a paperback, because you do actually remove the cover on something like this. Other things you'll need is a pencil, a rubber just in case, a sharpener just in case, a calculator. This is just an old phone, but it's got a calculator on it. And then you will also need your pattern. And this is what a pattern looks like to do the alphabet that I've designed, which isn't on my Etsy shop yet, but if there is a call for it, I can put it up. And what you'll notice is that each pattern is made up of lots of little lines, and each line represents one page in your book. Now, when it comes to working out how many pages you'll need, because that's something that needs to be considered, basically each line on a pattern represents one page. So you'll have so many lines, which means you will need so many pages. And the number of lines you have has to be doubled so that you can figure out how many pages to use in a book. So if I said each line represents one sheet in a book, that means it represents one of these, which is one page, but you're actually using 2 page numbers. So if you've got a pattern which calls for 100 pages, you're going to need a book that has got 200 pages or more, because they come with 2 numbers. Yeah, basically, like this book I'm using has got 296 pages in it, which means it's got 148 pages, 148 sheets. Does that make sense? So I hope that makes sense. Basically, it's got 296 pages, which would then be half that amount sheets. And then what you're using for your pattern is how many sheets you need, not pages, even though I call it a page because it is a page of a book, but it's 2 numbers. But anyway, so first of all, what you would do, when you buy a pattern, I can almost guarantee that it will come with the amount of pages you'll need and how tall your book needs to be and stuff like that. But for my pattern, which I will go in, it'll be easier for you to see when I show you how to do it. You just line up the top of the page with the top of the paper each time, and you mark off the lines, but I will be showing you that. So my first port of call for when I do any pattern is to find out how many sheets I need. So that's where the calculator comes in. You will need, so for mine, this large N has 33 sheets, so I would do 33 plus the small A has got 34, which I've written. You see it? 34. So I would add that on. Then I've got 24 pages for the small N. 24 pages for the small N. So I would add that on. And then I've got another 34 pages for another A because I'm doing the word Nana. So 34, that's 125, oops, 34, let me check that again, 34, 24, 34, 33, 125, so I would times that by 2, it's 250, and I've got, let me write that down, I've got 250 lines. I've got 125 lines, which is 250 book pages. 125 sheets. And my book has got 296, wasn't it? 296. Let me just check. 296. 297, 298, 299, 300, 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, 305. So we've got 305 pages. The reason I've added that on is because at the beginning of a book you'll always have these blank pages. You've got like credit notes and stuff like that. And then the book will start, and that's actually page 2. So that's page 2 of 296, but these actually exist too, so I've added them in. So 305. So I've got 305 pages. 305 pages. So divide 305 by 2. 305 divided by 2. 305 divided by 2 equals 152. 152, so I've got enough pages, that's fine. I knew I had enough pages anyway, but never mind. It's late. Let me up. So the next step, you know, you've got to have 250 page numbers, and I've got 305. So 305. You would then take away what you need from what you've got. So I've got 250, so I need to take away 250 from 305. So 305 minus 250 equals 55. 55 pages spare. Divide that by 2, 27.5. So what I would then do, I've just worked out, basically I need 125 sheets and I've got 150 odd. So what I do is take the amount of pages that I need, so that's my sheets times 2, and how many pages I've got. I would remove that number from what I've got, which gives me my 55 pages. I would then divide that by 2, which gives me 27.5. So then what I would do is I would get my book and I would count 27 pages in. 27 pages in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 27, 28. Let me just check that. Divide by 2, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then once I've got to that point, I know I've separated those pages. So the next page is where I'd actually start my pattern. And the reason I do that is so that the name or the word is set, or the pattern is centralized. So if I show you on this one, I've got my name, and then I've got these pages here which have no folds in them, and that's because my pattern called for that many pages to be folded, and I had that many excess pages. If I'd have just opened the book, if I'd have just opened the book and started folding from page 1, I would have those excess pages, but just on the one side, which I can't bear. I can't cope with that, so that's why I do all that stupid mathematical crap, basically. So then I would just sort of mark off that page, and then I would start. So I've got where I'm starting in my book, and I've got my pattern. So what I will do is set my camera up and show you how I do it. So I'll be back. I literally just got halfway through the tutorial and realised that it wasn't filming properly, so I've had to try again. But that's quite good actually, because I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video that you're going to need an elastic band. And the reason you're going to need an elastic band is because without it, the pages, they all flick forward. So, to do book folding, get your pattern, like I said, and you've got all your lines. And what you would do is you would take your pattern and you would pop it under the page like that. And then you would line the top of the paper up to the top of the page like that. And you would line, this first line, to the edge of the page. So you would just pull that in like that, wiggle it until you're all lined up, top and side. And then with that line then, you get your pencil and draw a little line to the top of that one. And what I do then is I just do a little flick coming off that line. And then I do that one there, and a little flick coming off that line. And I know I've completed that line. And then I've got my lines on the page. So the next step then is to get a ruler, which is another thing I forgot to say you'll need because I'm lame. And you would bring the ruler up to the line that you've created on the page, and you would bring that corner down alongside the ruler. Hold it fast with your fingers, and then I just rub my ruler across the page like that to keep the fold in place. And then I bring my ruler down to that line there and fold up in the same way, and then get my ruler, just push it down like that, and then I flick that page over, and that's that one page done. So again then, I'll show you here, lining up to the top of the page and then bring it up to the next line, which is that one there. So I would do my 2 lines like that, and my 2 little marks like that to show that I've done that line there. And again then, take my ruler to the line and bring the page down to my ruler like that. And do it again then for the second line. Bring my page up as far as it'll go, and then just put a rub over that. It's job done. And that's how you continue to follow the pattern. Every time you want to do a line, you line it up to the top of the page, to the side of the page, mark it off, like that, and then it's done. My personal preference is to mark it off and flick the page and then go on to the next one. So I'll then do that like that and that, and you continue doing that all the way until you get to the last line, and then I go back and I fold across the lines. So what you would then do is create the pattern with each line. That's what I was saying about it being something that, unless you actually have a go at doing, it's hard to imagine doing. So I'm just going to finish this one, and then I'll be back. So I've obviously finished off doing the marking, and then you can see that I've made a little mark on each line, so I know I've done each line, and then I just go back and get my ruler and do the folds for each line. So I'm going to do that now. That's another letter completed, and I've got 3 letters of the book done now. I can get it on there. See? So it's coming along. I've got 1 letter left to do, so I'm going to go and do that now, and then I will come back. Okay, so I'm back, and I finished the pattern, which I was just showing you, and it says Nana. I don't know. So it says Nana. Now, like I said in the beginning, I separated the pages that I need to use from the pages left over. So now my design is nice and centralised inside the book. And what I do then is take the elastic band that I was using to keep the pages down and just chuck it over the book like that, and I just leave it like that for a couple of days, let it sit, give it a bit of a squeeze. If push comes to shove, I could tighten that, and just keep it nice and tight for a couple of days, and then when I go back to it then, it shouldn't spring open like that. It'll like stay nice and dense so that the pattern stays nice like that, and then I can decorate it. So it's really relaxing. I know it sounds stupid, but it's an adult's craft, and it is. I find it really relaxing. I find it really therapeutic. I really enjoy doing it. Like I said, I will link to Etsy in the description box, and if anybody's got any questions, sound off in the comment box. If you're enjoying everything that you're seeing, give us a thumbs up or subscribe, and I'm gonna go and eat me some pie.